So we know Superman has lost most of his powers, but can he still do that throwing his symbol thing? And what about superweaving? And how about shooting little versions of himself out of his hands? These are the questions I, as a fan of the comic book genre, need answered. Previously on Action Comics, a depowered Superman with his identity revealed travelled the country until he was called back to Metropolis by Jimmy Olsen. He met the residents of his old neighbourhood, who were under pressure by the local police due to quarantine, before heading off to fight a shadow monster. While he was gone, however, the police moved in on Kentville. This is where we pick up. The police tell them to disperse, claiming they are assembling illegally. I would talk about how this violates the First Amendment, but given America's recent history with protesters, I'm calling this accurate. Meanwhile, Superman fights the shadow monster. The comic uses this as a chance to explore how he's learning his new limits, especially this moment where he forgets he isn't invulnerable, as he wrestles the shadow monster into a petrol can. In Kentville, the police are moving in. When a canister of tear gas is accidentally fired, it nearly threatens to turn this whole situation into a riot. However, just as it reaches its tipping point, Superman throws a chain in between the police and protesters, and stands with them. He reminds the police about how he has saved their lives and faces off with their leader, Binghamton. We see that this has all been because of one man, and how he hates the world of superheroes, hates things like Sword and Brainiac, hates being powerless in the face of these things, even if he won't admit it. It's a motive that could be empathized with, even if the character can't be. He has Superman beaten, and the rest of the force moves in on the protesters with tear gas. When Supes sees innocents being hurt, he finally loses his temper and lashes out at Binghamton. Superman was originally a political or socially minded character, and the move back towards that is an interesting if welcome choice. A more human Superman has to deal with more human problems. That makes perfect sense. I'm interested to see where this is going in the future. My opinion on this story still holds. Superman's getting used to being weaker is incredibly endearing. The characters around him are all well realised, the action and art are great, and the plot is something I hope will stand out in the history of DC. 30 bananas and an orange. It would be 2 oranges, but Superman didn't mind wipe anyone with a kiss.